This is Career Coaching X's and O's, and I'm your host, Mark Anthony Peterson, founder and thought leader at CRO Consulting, a small business strategy and technology consulting firm. A small part of our practice is executive coaching. These episodes are the summations of some of those sessions. Welcome to episode 22. It's a new year, the economy is still red hot, and many of you may be looking to switch jobs. Or some of you high-growth companies may be out there looking for very talented employees. So if a competitor wants to hire you, these are the 7 things you should do next. First, you should make sure that you have not signed a non-compete. If you have, you should make sure that there aren't any restrictive covenants and thoroughly review the document to make sure there aren't any restraint of trade clauses. Though courts tend to frown on very restrictive non-compete documents, you don't want to find yourself embroiled in a legal battle with your former company and your new company. What's the second thing you should do? Before you talk to your boss, make sure you are ready to take the job and that you have a written offer. I have personally witnessed scenarios where employees have jumped the gun, told their boss about a competitive offer without a written offer, only to have that offer rescinded. And then they were out on an island begging for their job. You don't want to jump the gun. Make sure your ducks are in a row, you have a written offer, and that you're ready to accept it before you sit down and start talking with people at your current job. What's the third thing you should do? If there are any scenarios that will keep you at your current job, jot them down and be prepared to negotiate. If you are a very valuable employee, trust me, they will want to negotiate to try to find a way to keep you. And guys, please negotiate in good faith. If you provide a list of 2 to 3 things that are absolutely critical to keep you at the current job, and they deliver, and you don't stay at the current job, your name is mud. Not just with that company, but in that industry. Trust me, people move from company to company. One guy who's your friend at your current company could end up being your boss at your new company. And if you left a trail of bodies behind at your former employer, it'll catch up with you. Negotiate in good faith. The fourth thing you should do, make sure you don't leave any breadcrumbs behind on your work computer. Matter of fact, never, ever use your work computer or your company time to look for another job. Now, if you've made that mistake, go back and make sure you haven't left any breadcrumbs behind, i.e. documents, resumes, communications that would indicate that you were looking for a job during your work hours and on a company device. Because if you have, guess what, guys? Most companies do go back and review every system, every email for security purposes. So you want to make sure that you have not done that and have not set up any sort of legal situation that could harm your career going forward. The fifth thing you should do is review the move with your mentors. Now, if you've been listening to this podcast, you know that you should have multiple mentors, internal and external mentors. Internal, i.e. in your company, external, people who are experts in the field or in your industry, and talk to them about the move. And there are several things you should ask. Moving to the new company, is it going to give you greater growth potential, more opportunities? Is the company the right type of company to fully exploit all of your skill sets? Is the move going to create a problem for you down the road if you're leaving a very highly competitive company for another highly competitive company? You read about this in the news, where a top employee leaves Google and goes to Amazon, and then the lawsuits follow, leaving the employee in peril until all of these things can be worked out. Well, while they sit on the sideline, the industry continues to move forward. and you could lose your cutting edge advantage while the lawyers try to determine if you can earn a paycheck. Your mentor should give you a perspective on all of that and give you a solid set of recommendations. And typically the question I ask my mentees is, will this move affect not this promotion, but the promotion that follows? Does it open up the possibility for a two-step move in your career? So if you're a junior manager and you're moving to a competitor to become a senior manager, to me, that's not that exciting. But if the move opens the door for you to quickly become a vice president, then I'm a lot more excited by the move because it has given you a two-step elevation in terms of your seniority and opened up the world of possibilities for more advancements at that company or others when you reach the executive level. If you don't see that with the competitive company, I'm a little more skeptical about the move. What's the sixth thing you should do? You should make sure that you never, ever take company proprietary information or trade secrets with you on purpose or inadvertently. Go through every file that you have, jump drive every document that's in your home office, and if there's any material relating to IP or trade secrets that belongs to your former employer, make sure you return that documentation. In fact, have someone sign off that they received it from you and that you have expunged or destroyed any other copies that are on your person. We want to make sure that there aren't any legal issues hanging over you as you move to your new job. And number 7, the 7th thing you should do if you get an offer from a competitor. Tell your boss in person. Absolutely. Tell your boss in person. I hate those recommendations where they tell you to write a letter and give it to your boss. You're going to be a senior executive. You're going to hire people face to face. You're going to fire people face to face. And so you should get used to sitting down and having a real world big boy conversation or big girl conversation with another executive and let them know what your intentions are. Now, you should also have a very well-crafted letter thanking the company for the opportunities to deliver to the boss at the point where all negotiations are complete and you've decided to move on. But your initial conversation should be face-to-face. Any good boss has invested time and energy in your career. They're going to be hurt by the fact that you're leaving for a competitor. But any good boss would also celebrate the opportunity for your personal growth. Having that conversation gives them the chance to do that, to decompress and then to celebrate your success. And for that person to become a mentor when you leave for the new company. To be that bridge if you ever need to come back. So take the time and have that conversation, no matter how tough it is and how much you don't want to do it. I've been in that spot. And I still now have lunch and dinner with the chief operating officer of the company that I loved working at. Because I sat down and had a big boy conversation with him and the CEO. You need to do the same thing. These have been the 7 things you should do after you've gotten an offer from a major competitor. I hope you found this episode helpful. If so, hit subscribe. I know you will share this episode with your colleagues because the best people listen to this podcast. Tell us the issues you are struggling with in your career, and we will research them, and we might even do a podcast episode about them. If you need more support for your career, please find us on the web at Ceyero.com, Ceyero.com, and let us help you develop a plan for your career. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Ceyero Consulting. If you like this podcast, you may like some of my other podcasts. Guerrillapreneur, the art of waging small business warfare. This is a podcast for startup entrepreneurs and Business Mavericks. If you're not any of those, you don't have to go home, but you probably shouldn't go up into that podcast. And then gigging, everything in the sharing economy. If you want news, views, and interviews with the people who are changing the sharing economy, that's the podcast for you. We just recently interviewed the CEO of Top Coder, Mike Morris. Very good interview. Very cool guy. You should check that out. This has been Career Coaching X's and O's, and I'm your host, Mark Anthony Peterson, founder and thought leader at Sierra Consulting.